Now, I don't know about you, but for me, from 40 to 57 went bloody quick. And the one thing I've noticed, and I noticed it at my last job, that there were times when I felt like I was being basically left on the shelf. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. There were times when perhaps I wasn't invited to a meeting because they felt, for whatever reason, I wasn't needed there. Or even projects would be given away to somebody else and not to myself, which I would have normally done in the past. And these are all small indicators of being left on the shelf. Well, really not that sure. But in addition to that, sometimes I'll watch things on YouTube, for example, and I feel like I'm lost. I don't get it. I don't understand what people are talking about. Whether it's talking about modern technology or trends that are happening, and I'm not particularly a trendy person, I must say. But I feel like I'm almost left out of the equation, like I don't get it, I don't understand it. Or another classic example is I don't go to bars very often, but sometimes when I'm back in England, I'll go to my old local. Now, years ago, when I still lived in England, and that's 30 years ago now, you could go in there on a Friday evening and you'd know exactly who'd be in there, be the local crowd. You always had someone to talk to. But now when I'm in England and I go into a bar, it's filled with much younger people. And honestly, rarely do I ever see anybody that I knew from when I lived back in England. And this shift, it doesn't happen overnight. It really doesn't happen overnight. You don't see it happening until one day you start just noticing these things. Now, at 57, losing my job was a big wake-up call, obviously. I mean, arguably, it's the biggest wake-up call you can get. But I refuse to be left on the shelf. I try and keep up to date with the technologies of today, but only because they serve me. I don't keep up to date with things because I just want to be kept up to date with things. For example, I barely watch the news because I never know what to believe when I do watch it. But there is almost a kind of feeling, I don't want to say a feeling of being lost, but just being put aside, like you're no longer relevant anymore. When the reality is, that couldn't be further from the truth. I've said in so many of my videos that, as you get older, we do develop this superpower, and that superpower is age and wisdom, something that yourself 30 years ago wouldn't have had as much as. And that's just the way life is, right? I mean, you only get wisdom with age. But that's something that we do have that our younger selves and younger people do not have. So I guess the kind of purpose of this video really is to acknowledge what's going on, and it happens to everybody. And I'm sure that it happened to my parents when they got older, from when they were young. I'm sure it's not unique to our generation only, but that doesn't make any difference when it happens to you. Now, just as a quick reminder, if you want to use the job application support system that I created for free, there'll be a link in the description, or you can scan the QR code to sign up. I'm giving away 20 seats. You can watch Monday's video for more information about that. But going back to what I was talking about with regards to being left on the shelf, I hear you and I see you and I read it in the comments section. And yes, it is life. That's what happens. But it doesn't mean that we're irrelevant, and it certainly doesn't mean we have to accept it. And I think that's something that we should all feel. Maybe it's your family members, maybe it's your kids growing up, and, at one time your kids needed you, then suddenly they don't need you anymore. They become independent, even at maybe 16, let alone when they get to their 20s, whatever. This feeling of being put on the shelf really happens from all angles, all directions. It doesn't just come from one place. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'm wrapping this video up. Just wanted to say, stay relevant. Don't be left on the shelf. Still got plenty to give. So until Monday, I'll see you then, and thank you for watching. Cheers.